Hello, everyone. Hello. Just trying to sign on to my Instagram. Don't know what's going on. Hold on for 1 second. And let's see if I can get it together. I don't know. Technology today. But bear with me in 1 second. Technology today. All right. Okay, I don't know which one this is or what happened here. But let's check out something. I gotta look at something that I said. All right, y'all, let me begin. First of all, welcome. Today is Friday, August the 26th, y'all. Time is flying. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate, Real Life, Real Talk, and Real Live with Damon the Agent. Everyone knows I'm a realtor, and I basically come on here and talk about what's going on in real estate. I normally bring on a business spotlight. I always have a guest, and I always end the show with a trending topic. So today, real estate topic is the current market conditions. I wanted to let you all know what was going on because things have drastically changed since the beginning of the year. Going back to when the pandemic started back in 2020, the market took off. A lot of people buying houses. Houses were flying off the market like hotcakes. You put a house on the market, within hours, you would have multiple offers. Buyers were waiving contingencies. They were struggling to get a house and everything. So currently, we're going into a shift right now. The shift is basically when the market is one way and it is gradually shifting another way. So right now, it is not a buyer's market, but it is also not a seller's market. We are actually in between that shift, meaning houses are still on the market. They're still selling, but they're not selling as quickly as they were before. Actually, houses are staying an additional 5 days on the market compared to what they were just 2 months ago. So things have changed drastically. I've also have seen that buyers were waiving their contingencies early this year, even in the early parts of the summer. Right now, we even have buyers who are asking for closing costs now, in which ever since the pandemic has started, a lot of buyers were not even giving closing costs if they asked for it because the sellers had options. Meaning if there were 5 offers on the property and the property was listed at, let's say, 500,000 and a buyer asked for closing costs, a lot of times their offer would not be taken into consideration because you would have other offers that were going over the list price and asking for no closing costs and no contingency, no home inspection contingencies, no appraisal contingency. So right now, currently, it is shifting. Now, let's say that house is at 500,000. Now, houses are sitting on the market longer, but some sellers are lenient with giving some buyers closing costs. It's all going to still depending upon how the offer is written. So when buyers are writing offer, they must understand that we're not in a buyer's market to the point where they can just go in there and blatantly disrespect the seller and say, okay, well, your house is listed at 500,000. It's been on the market for 1 week, so I want to offer you 475, and I also want you to give me 3% of closing costs. We're not in that market. So please don't try it because many times, you know what I'm saying, what's going to end up happening is your offer is either going to get rejected or you're going to come back, or the seller and listing agent are going to come back with a more realistic counter offer, which is going to be closer to the list price. And also, depending on the seller, whether or not they want to give closing. Some sellers still do not want to give closing. So don't assume that if you are a buyer. But the market is shifting. So if you were looking to buy a house at the beginning of the year, and then you say, no, let me hold off because I want to see if prices drop. I want to see if things changes. Well, things are changing, but prices are not dropping. So just want you to keep that in mind. Those who are waiting for prices to drop, they're going to be waiting for a while. Like I said before in my previous podcast, unless we enter a recession, prices don't drop. I mean, this is 2022. When have you ever known anything to drop? Gas prices, gas prices have dropped, but I mean, like drop drastically, I'm sorry, excuse my word, drastically, but prices don't really drop like that. But there is a shift occurring in the market right now. So for sellers who are putting their house on the market, just take into consideration that houses are not going to fly like hotcakes like they did in the beginning of the year. For example, if your neighbor sold their house and you saw that they sold their house in less than a week, and you feel like your house is better than their house and you should get more for your house than their house, the reality is your house is going to sit longer than what their house did, because this is a different time. And your house may be better than theirs, but at the same time, though, buyers are getting more options. So again, a lot of times, depending on what's going on in the market, it depends on what really goes on for sellers and buyer, because the market dictates everything. So it's really based off supply and demand. It's based off what's going on in the economy, and it's based off the financing of the buyers as well too. So all those things are having a domino effect on what's going on in the current housing market. So please understand that we are in a shift right now. So please take that into consideration, whether you are a buyer or a seller. If you're looking to sell your house, houses are still selling. They're just not selling like right away. Might take you a month or two before your house actually sell, but guess what? It will sell, because there's still people out there looking to buy. If you are a buyer and everything, you can explore your options now compared to the beginning of the year. You can see what's out there for you. And then if you have a good agent, you can do some type of negotiation depending on what the terms are of the contract. All of those are going to play a huge factor as far as your offer getting accepted, and then also what's going on. So I just want you all to take that into consideration, because again, there has been noted that houses are sitting on the market 5 extra days. And then also there has been noted that some buyers, not all, are getting some closing costs. That's always relevant to the seller, and it always depends on the area. So for example, I'm in a tri-state area, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. There are certain parts of Northern Virginia and DC that are not giving any closing costs. There are certain parts of Maryland that are giving closing costs. So again, it's going to really depend on the area and where you are buying. So please do not assume that every shoe fits everyone. And when I say that, I basically mean that everything doesn't go for everyone. So some people will assume because they got a cousin who bought a house, let's say in Baltimore, and somebody want to buy a house in DC, and what was done in Baltimore is totally different from DC. 2 different areas, 2 different price points. So there's a lot of things that goes on. So I always stress and reiterate that when it pertains to real estate, it's always about location, location, location. That determines everything. The value of the home, and what's going on. And as far as economy is different in location, location, location. What's going on in DC is totally different what's going on in Mississippi. So please factor that when you are the one who's looking to buy or sell a house. But right now, the current market is showing that we are shifting. We're shifting from a seller's market, and we're gradually shifting, and it's going towards a buyer's market. But also keep in mind that can change. It can go back to a seller's market just as quickly as it's gradually going over to a buyer's market. So the buyer's market is going to really depend on the number of houses, the supply of houses that are on the market, and the economy. So when there are more houses on the market than there are buyers, that's when it's a buyer's market. That's when there's a high demand for buyers to make an offer. That's when buyers have more options, and that's when buyers can do what they've been doing as far as making offers lower than list price and asking for everything in the kitchen sink, and then sellers would say yay, nay, or maybe so. But when it's a seller's market, that's when there's more buyers than there are houses. So sellers have the upper hand. They don't have to do anything when it pertains to buyers wanting things. And a lot of times they get multiple offers on their properties. And when they do so, they're always looking for the highest and best offer. So whenever there's a multiple offer situation, I always stress to make your best offer up front. Please, please, please. And I'll say this. Some people look at HGTV and they think everything on HGTV applies to reality. But what you'll have to really take into consideration that is HGTV. TV lets and projects what they want people to see and stuff. Everything that they show on there is not what goes on in the real world of real estate, period. Everything that you see does not go. So I say that to say that whenever you're dealing with real estate, always talk to your local professional, because they are the ones who know the area better and they can advise you. Because what you see on there, then you try to apply in your area, you might not even get a response sometimes. You might make an offer on something, you don't get a response, and you're wondering why. Or you might feel like, oh, let's offer them lower than this amount and let them come back and counter. And then what ends up happening is they don't come back and counter, and you wondering why. And the reason they don't come back and counter is because they don't have to come back and counter, especially when they have multiple offers. They don't have to. They don't have to tell you. That's why a lot of times when there are multiple offers, it's always best to make your best offer up front. If you're the only offer, it's totally different. But if there's multiple offers, you always want to give your best up front, because sometimes listing agents don't have the time to come back and to, go over that they got 12 offers in front of them and they looked at all 12 offers and they telling everybody come back with the highest and best offer. Sometimes some agents take forever to respond, so they're waiting on 3 other agents to come back. They ain't come back, so then they go on with these 8 and everything. So it's sometimes it's just too much for a listing agent. So it's always better if they give their best shot up front. But sometimes you look at HGTV and they'll say, oh, well, make them a lowball offer and let them counter us back. And then, like I said, you make an offer and they don't counter you back and you're wondering why. Because you done looked at TV rather than listening to your local real estate professional. And always the local agent knows what's going on in the area. Yes, that can work in some areas, but that's not going to work in all areas. Plain and simple. So I just want people to get that in their head so they basically know that, to know what to do locally for you. But again, we're gradually having a shift. So if you were looking to buy in the beginning of the year, I would strongly advise for you to begin the process now. Contact me or your local realtor as far as trying to, begin the process, because if you begin now, you will basically, what's this? This is August. We're about to go into September. So if you begin now, you can have a house before Thanksgiving. You can definitely have a house before Thanksgiving and have a nice Thanksgiving feast in your new house and new living room and new kitchen. And you definitely can have one before Christmas. So if that's a gift you want to give to your family, your loved ones, as far as, getting you all a house, I would suggest you start right now, because the financial part has to be done up front. Once you get the financial part, then everything else is simple. Some people like to do things the old way. They'll look at houses online. They'll go to open houses, and then they'll see a house that they actually like. And then once they see the house they like, then they want to put in an offer, but then they have to get the finances straight. And sometimes the finances take days or maybe a week. And then by that time, somebody else then got the house. You understand? Because you wasn't in a position, because you were just looking. So if you're ready to buy, begin the process with your local realtor, or put my number up there. You can call or text me, and I can help you begin the process. So I just wanted to share that. So give me 1 second, you all. Okay, so the next part of my show is I always have a business spotlight, and I always like to help promote other people and their business. And the reason why I do that is because I believe in helping everyone. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, we all need to support each other. We all need to try to help each other. That's what I try to do. So that's one of the reasons why I have the business spotlight, to try to shed light. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, hold on for 1 second. But at the same time, with that being said, though, my show is also to promote real estate, but it's also to promote each other. I believe in one. I believe in helping each other, because the more we help each other, you know what I'm saying, the more we grow as a people. The more we grow as a people. So this week, business spotlight, I'm bringing back on Michelle Smith. I had her on previously twice before, because she was running for Senate, And I wanted to bring her back on just to share with us her experience, and also, the numbers and things of that nature, and just also to give insight on that, because a lot of times we as people, we don't go out and vote like we should. I think in this world today, some of us have gotten so comfortable and content in our lifestyle that we kind of forget what our forefathers went through. You know what I'm saying? We forget that our people struggled a lot just to give us voting rights. And a lot of times that we do that and everything, we don't understand that our grandparents are turning over in their grave. Our great grandparents are turning over in their graves. And I say that to say that we have such a nonchalant and I don't care attitude these days about voting. We always feel like, oh, it's not going to affect me. The politicians and also the two evils and things of that nature. So many things that I heard and stuff. But then when things happen, people complain all the time. I say that to say that, you know what I'm saying, if you are not going to vote ever, I would strongly suggest that don't complain. Don't say nothing because you didn't do your part as far as voting was concerned. So, with that being said, I'm going to have Michelle Smith come on. And when she comes on, which will be in like 1 second, when she comes on, we're going to talk to her about her experience with the politician, how she felt, how she did. And then on top of that, there's an upcoming voting in November, and I hope that you'll get out there and vote in your local areas. You know, I'm sorry, y'all. So I hope you'll get out there and vote and everything, because of the fact that it is detrimental to all of us. It helps us one way or another, and it affects us. It affects us all, whether you realize it or not. It truly does. So I want you all to help me to welcome Michelle Smith. 1 second, you all. Okay. All right. So I got Michelle Smith coming on right now, and we're going to talk to her about her recent run with politics. Also, if you all have any questions, please feel free to comment and everything so I can post them for her. And hold on for 1 second. I am trying to get her on here. Sometimes with these things, I don't know what goes on the other side, but all right, yeah, we're waiting for Miss Smith. In the meantime, let me begin my topic. And I find myself doing this a lot, but when people are trying to log on, I really don't know. I think StreamYard, because that's what I use for my platform. I think it's relatively simple. It basically, you just click on the link and you can log in. But I don't know why people sometimes has trouble logging in. So trying to get Miss Smith on here so she can basically share with us. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. I apologize for the technical difficulties on Miss Smith part. All right, y'all. While I'm waiting on Miss Smith, let me go into my other part of the segment that I wanted to talk about, which is going to be passports and lack of support. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because of the fact that, throughout the past 2 weeks, there's been so many discussions and so many issues about so many black men who are getting their passports to go overseas to get foreign women because of the way that a lot of black women are these days, as far as their high standards and basically, what they're looking for. Yeah, so oh my goodness. Hold on for 1 second. Yeah, I'm trying to help Miss Smith again. Please forgive my phone call doing that. Yeah, so you should have a link in your email. I mean, we just sent like at 12 something at both of them. I actually sent it to both emails. So I don't know what you're looking at in reference to that. That's why I was saying check the time and date. If you hit refresh or if you check your spam, it should be there. I don't know what happened. We got disconnected. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Yeah. All right, y'all. I do apologize. I don't know what took place in reference to the disconnect and everything. But like I said, I'm talking about passports and the lack of support. A lot of black men are getting their passports and they're going overseas to get foreign women, which there are pros and cons to everything. I pretty much understand the pros, but what I think some men are not understanding is the con. The con is to that meaning like a lot of people who are foreign overseas, they want to be taken care of and everything. And some of the black men here can't even take care of themselves. Unfortunately, some are over 35, still living home, don't have their own transportation, don't even have a job. So when they go get these women, I'm trying to figure out, are they really thinking that, okay, once they get them, that the women is going to take care of them? Because a lot of these women are living in countries that are poor as far as, compared to America. So I think, I'm saying, that the attitude of a lot of foreign women is what attracts a lot of black men over there. But I don't think a lot of black men, and I'm talking about the ones who cannot financially take care of the women, because all women, regardless of what race they are, want to be taken care of, just like men want to be taken care of too. I think a lot of time nowadays, unlike when our fathers and grandfathers just worked, and I'm talking about the ones who were still there, who worked and financially took care of the home. Unfortunately, they weren't taken care of. The men weren't taken care of. That's why a lot of men stepped outside. A lot of women felt like, well, I take care of the home, I take care of your kids and stuff, which is true, but that's a given. See, a lot of men look at the home like, okay, the home is for the woman in many cases. That's why a man that's why that old saying goes, Papa was a rolling stone. Everywhere he laid his hat, he made his home. The reason why that saying goes is because a man will live on a couch and be comfortable. He'll live in a corner as long as he got a place to lay his head, eat, watch TV, sleep, go to the bathroom, have sex. He's comfortable. Women like comfortability, so they want bigger homes, more spaces, and everything. So when women say, I take care of home, they take care of home, but take care of home doesn't necessarily mean they take care of their men. I know that from experience and everything. So men nowadays, they don't want to feel used to the point where they're only paying for everything and they're not getting anything in return, because many of them, like I said, can live on a couch and they're fine. But Hold on, Miss Smith is calling me. Hello. The email address you gave me, go. Hold on, I'm gonna send it, resend it. Hold on. I sent it twice. That's why I don't understand. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Go Michelle at Hotmail. Yeah, I sent it. Yeah, I'm sending it again. So I just re I just resent it. Yeah, I just resent it. And then also the other one you had, the campaign one. Yeah, I sent to both of them. So just to make sure that you received it. So I don't know what's going on with the server, but yeah, I don't know. You need probably need to upgrade to a Gmail because I don't use Hotmail. Hold on. Hold on. 006 what? Okay. I'm gonna send it there too. All right, I just sent it there too. So hit refresh on all of them. You should have them on at least one of them. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The Gmail one should definitely go through if the Hotmail one didn't go through. Yeah. That was the first one I sent. And then I just sent the one to the one that you just gave me, Michelle Smith. And then I also sent it to the other one, go Michelle. So I don't know why none of those are coming through. Oh, okay. All right. Come on. I'll see you soon. All right, bro. Yeah, she was having some technical difficulties, so she couldn't come on, but she's coming on now. I don't know what's going on with the emails, but she didn't get them. So here she goes. She says she got it, and she's about to come on. So give me 1 second. Finally.
Hey there, Dana.
Finally, we got you on here. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm hanging
Okay.
in.
Well, that's good. So we wanted to bring you back on so we can talk about your campaign run. You know, you going for Senate. So please give us some details as far as, unfortunately you didn't win, but you got quite a few numbers, for this to be your first race and to challenge someone who is well known. I don't think you did bad at all. So please share with us your experience, the numbers, what the future holds for you, and just enlighten us a little bit.
Oh, thank you. So, the official results are already in. If folks want to go see the results, they can just go to Maryland State Board of Elections website. It'll come up immediately as soon as they log on to the website. And I got over 127,000 votes. So, we were very pleased about that. We didn't even think I would get that many. Um, Only because of a lack of resources that we had. We did everything correctly for the campaign. There were two things that we were lacking. We were lacking funds and volunteers. If I had more money and more to help me, we probably would have really put a dent in this election with the amount of votes that I could have gotten. But it's okay. So, but there's some lessons that were learned. I did post that on the website, michellesmithforsenate.org. People can go by there and read that if they want. Um, but other than that, it's all over, and I'm actually pretty glad.
Yeah, I can understand. It probably was a little stressful, just dealing with the campaign, and then on top of that, you didn't have many people, much support. So that can be draining, to
Yeah,
say the least.
yeah, exactly. But it was a good run. It was a great experience for me. I needed that experience. And with running this campaign for 2 years has been very rewarding. I learned a lot about politics and what politicians actually go through. I have a better understanding now of how hard it is to help people who don't want to be helped. So you got to really focus on the ones that do want your help. I mean, it was a lot. I learned a lot. This was this was not just a walk in the park. Running for any kind of political office, it takes a lot of work and effort.
So let me ask you a question. What was the percentage of people that actually came out to vote?
Um, well, I would ask on the Maryland. As a matter of fact, it wasn't a lot of the. It wasn't all the voters in the state. All the voters don't usually come out for the midterm elections.
Right.
Which is unfortunate because the midterm elections are just as important as the general election. You know, like for president, the presidential election.
Right.
That's where most people come out to vote when we have to vote in a new president. But for the
Right.
midterm, a lot of people didn't come out. Let me see, Maryland State Board.
Yeah, I can believe
So
that. And that's what I was trying to figure out what were the numbers just to get an idea of, what I'm saying, like you said, most people don't come out. So and then for you to get like I think you got like 100 and something thousand people who have voted for you, correct?
over 107,000.
Yeah, that's very impressive. But
And
I just want to know how many people voted, period. That was what I was trying to figure
it's
out.
on the website.
Okay.
It's on the website. Um, oh God. If you go to the Maryland State Board of Elections, it's right there.
Hmm.
And it has a breakdown. It has a breakdown. Everything is there. Oh,
Okay.
they have the reports. So now they done took it down. Now you got to look at the reports. So at first you could go directly to the website and it would have everything right there on their homepage. So now they have put all the statistical information in reports. So
Okay.
you can look it up. But as a matter of fact, um, the incumbent got over 450,000
Hmm.
votes. So, and I got 127,000. That's not even a million people that voted. That's not even a million people of Democrats that voted. That's not, you know what I mean?
That's
That's
even 600,000. That's not even 600,000.
no, that's not all of the voters in the state of Maryland. But the election results have already been certified, and the incumbent won, and he will face off with the Republican that won, and that guy is named Chris Chaffee. He will be facing off with that guy in November. So all we need to do at this point is just vote blue.
So let me ask you a question. What is your future as far as politics are concerned? Do you plan on running in a couple of years, or are you going to try to seek some other office, or what is your goal and everything? Because a lot of times these people who have these years of experience when it pertains to politics, somebody coming in who is basically a no name or nobody to the people, you know, I mean, like you going out there, putting your name out there, which is good and everything. But I think people probably, if you plan on in the future running again, they need to see you advocating doing this, like these terms and off the off term, because once your name becomes familiar, then people can say, oh, Michelle Smith, I remember her. You know what I'm saying? You have a common name and everything, so people will probably say, okay, Michelle Smith, that's easy to remember, so when they're voting next time, they'll vote for you. But I think that I think it was a young man, Dante Hampton, on my Facebook. He made a comment saying that, what I'm saying, like he gave a very good point of view when it pertains to things. He was just like nobody really knew, what I'm saying. He told you good race, but nobody really knew who you were, and everybody knew who the other person were. So basically, I think that plays a huge role when it pertains to politics because, again, when a lot of people have a when it pertains to politicians, a lot of people say this, but they don't do that when they go into the office. So we'll see what goes on in November. So are you going to um, campaign or do anything else again?
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure yet. But back to your point of nobody knowing who I am, every politician has gone through that.
Right.
It's not me. It's not just me. There was a first time for everybody
Right.
that went through it. The point of the whole matter is the law says I can run. So I did. I did everything that I needed to do to get my name out there. We did that correctly. The only two things that were lacking so that you can really get your name out there is money and volunteers. You need money and volunteers. That's how they all do it. And to get over 127,000 votes is pretty damn good with running a campaign with the little bit of people that I did have and the resources that were available to me. But you're right. I was a first timer, and I wasn't the only one. You can look at Raphael Warnock, the pastor out of Georgia, and that other guy. They ran for the first time. It was a whole bunch of first timers that ran 2 years ago and won Senate races. It was a whole lot of first timers, but they had more money and they were able to get their name out there, and they were able to do more campaigning because they had volunteers.
Yeah, I can believe that. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely believe that and understand that point of it and everything. So you said you don't know what you're gonna do in the next 2 years?
I don't know if I run again. I'm not sure about it yet. I need to take some time first for myself, but I have some time to think about it. I have plenty of time to think about that. People are saying that I should run for a House of Representatives seat in 2024. I could very well do that. That way I can just focus on one district, in PG County, which would be easier because then I can have volunteers close in on that district and really get my name out there so that I can win the House seat.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Right now, I have not decided if I would do that. I just need to take a break first for myself and just focus on a couple of things that I need to handle. And that's about it. But if I do decide to do that, I need to make sure that I have enough volunteers to help me out there in the streets. It is not a one person show. Running for any political seat it requires people. I need help. You can't do this with one person or two people or three people. You really need people to fill in certain positions. There are positions that you need for your campaign. You need a community and outreach director. You need a finance director. You need a public relations person. You need a street team. You need a manager. You see what I'm saying? You need somebody who can handle the media. That would be the public relations person. But you need people to play these different roles. I need audio visual person. I need someone who knows how to edit video. You know what I mean? Who can do that kind of thing. So, the campaign has a whole lot of different parts. It's not just me, the candidate that's running, but it has a lot of different parts. But I'm confident that if I do decide to run for a representative seat in 2024, I believe that I will be able to fill many of those positions to help me try to win that seat.
Okay. Well, I'm wishing and hoping the best for you, regardless of which way you go. I think it was very important for people to see you out there, doing what you were doing and trying to do for people. So what do you think about the candidate that won over you?
The incumbent?
Yes.
Oh, the incumbent is great. I don't have any issues with the incumbent.
Okay.
He's going to do his job, and we just have to make sure we vote for him in November.
Okay. Well, I think a lot of people need to get out and vote. Understand the importance of voting. I was basically saying that before you got on, that our forefathers will be very disappointed in a lot of us these days because we've gotten so comfortable and content in the lifestyle that we live that people don't see the importance of going to vote, and people make up excuses as why to not vote instead of finding a reason to vote. And I think that this attitude that we had, nonchalant or I don't care stuff. And then when later on, when something comes up and it affects them, then they're complaining. And I'm like, if you're not going to go out and vote, then you shouldn't complain. People don't take the time to go vote, but they take the time to go to the bar. They take the time to go to the club. They take the time, you know what I'm saying, to go stand in line to purchase Jordans and all this other stuff. They take the time for whatever they want to do. You understand? But you can't take 30 minutes to go vote. But you take hours to go do all these other things that, you know what I'm saying? So I think people's priorities these days are not always in the right place and everything. And then people end up complaining later on. But again, in history, with Black people, our grandparents and great grandparents fought to have voting rights because they knew the importance of it. Do you think
people died so that we could get voting?
And not only that, do you think back then that they even had Black people who were in a position to be in office and to be in these things like we have today? No, they didn't. It was only white people running back then. So for people not to even go vote now, and our great grandparents were voting, it says a lot about us. It says, like, you know what I'm saying, we're so selfish and self-centered as a people that we don't even understand the importance of so much. We don't support each other. We don't do a lot of things with each other and stuff. And to be truthful, we as a race, we've come far, but we're so far behind. And people don't even get that. They don't even understand that and everything because they're so comfortable. They got their nice car, they got their nice job, they got their nice house, and they so comfortable and content. And that's all they're concerned about. So again, people don't really care until it hits or affects them. Then they want to complain. And I just, that's one of the problems that I have, you know what I'm saying, as a people when it pertains to voting and stuff like that. People, you know what I'm saying, they don't prioritize it. And like, even when I went to vote, like I said, I walked in, there wasn't nobody. I walked in and it wasn't nobody. Nobody.
I walked right in and came on out.
Right, nobody. The only people in there were the people who were working on polls. That was it. Besides that, there was nobody in there. I said, oh, all y'all here just for me? You know what I'm saying? That's how I go in there. I said, oh, y'all just here just for me? Well, I feel special. You know what I mean? 6 people here for me, but I just wish and hope that we had a different mindset. But to be honest with you, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's so much I could talk about when it pertains to that. But I'm glad that you ran a good race. And I'm glad that you know what I'm saying, you had those good numbers that you did, even though you didn't win. I was hoping that you won, like a miracle came up and you won and we celebrated. And then, next thing you know, you running in November and then you won that. Next thing you know what I'm saying? I mean, but, again, we can wishful think or we can strive because like you said before to me on the previous podcast, you know what I'm saying? It'll go on your resume. And on top of that, it just shows like you tried. Like when your kids or your grandparents your grandkids look back on you, they're gonna say, oh, my grandmother ran for this. I mean, you may not want, and who knows, one of them may run for something because they see you running. They're inspired by you. And that's what happens. And we can change people just like when Obama became president and everything, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't know who we inspire just by the little efforts that we do and the things that we do. But I just want to say I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you made that effort and stuff like that. And if you decide to run again, please let me know because I will, you know what I'm saying, like to volunteer some of my time and services to help you out.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to need that because people, I need help. I can't do everything by myself. That's impossible.
Yeah.
And people have still been sending donations lately, so I had to put a post up thanking people, but telling them to stop sending donations because the more money that keeps coming in, that means that's more money I have to report on the reports. Right. Although I'm not finished with the reporting, I'm still required to continue to report until the end of this year. Until the end of this year. Because the general election is coming up in November, I still got to report. They know that with political candidates, people will still send donations in because that money can help pay off any debts that the campaign may have accrued. Mm-hmm. But I don't have any debts. And I post that on IG and Instagram and TikTok. I think I don't have, the campaign ended without any debts. So I'm thankful for that. and all of this is in God's hands. So, I'm going to pray on what I should do for
That's great.
2024, because I am not going to go in this without him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we'll see. I'll see what happens. I mean, I got to talk to
Great.
God.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm proud of you again. I want to thank you for coming on to my show. You know what I'm
Thank
saying? I'm happy to see you. I thank you for all that you do. I thank you for helping my daughter out too. So,
you.
yeah, so I really appreciate that.
See, I be helping people.
Exactly. Behind.
There's so much that I do that people don't know. And you know why they don't really know? Because I don't brag about it. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? The Bible says not to do that, not to brag. Bragging makes others feel bad. I just go out here and do things. I
Mm-hmm.
don't brag about it and post it. Oh, look what I did today.
Right.
That's not from your heart.
Right.
You're just showing off.
Right. That's
But
true.
yeah, I help people. I be helping the homeless. I feed the homeless. I'm in all kinds of different programs where I'm working as a volunteer and helping people in the community. I mean, like I said, I don't brag about it. I don't shoot videos or take pictures of it because that's not what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You're supposed to just do it. I'm
Right.
in service of God, not the people, not
Right.
you.
Right.
You
But
know.
that's good. That's good. Like I said, I definitely appreciate you coming on and everything. I thank you for, taking the time to run, for taking the time to come back on my show again to enlighten us on what took place and everything. And
Mhm.
I wish you the best in the future. And we shall talk soon.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
All right, y'all. That was Michelle Smith talking about her campaign, what she did, and what her future plans are. Again, let me just enlighten and say this again. If please go vote in November. Please take the time. It's only going to take about 30 minutes. I mean, whatever. I don't think it's going to take an hour, but if it took 1 hour, so be it. Because again, some of you waste an hour playing PlayStation. Some of you waste an hour watching your reality TV show. You waste an hour strolling on social media. You waste an hour going to the bar or whatever it is that you do. But voting is very impactful on everyone's life. So please take the time. And like I previously said, our great grandparents who didn't have the right to vote, they wish they did. But even back then, the politicians that they had to choose from was not the selection that you have to choose from today. You have better options. So you have better options, better choices, living in a better situations under better circumstances, but people don't go vote. So please take the time to go vote. So let me go ahead and finish my talk on passports and lack of supports. Now I was talking about that a lot of black men have been going to get their passports and they've been going to foreign countries because the way that they feel that a lot of black women are today with being so independent, having these extremely high expectations and giving very little. And at the same time, a lot of the black men don't feel valued or appreciated and stuff. So let me just go back with the passport. And again, a lot of black men are going over to foreign countries and everything and checking out these women, but some of them not understanding. All women like to be taken care of. So even though they may go over there and get them a foreign woman, if they bring them back here, and that's if they bring them back here, you're going to have to take care of them. And then understand all those women are not legit. A lot of them are doing prostitution in their countries. And on top of that, they're looking for a green card. So I've seen certain situations where some women have come over here through some black men, gotten their green card, and then they turned around and divorced the black men years later, and then went back and got their families. So I think this passport thing is kind of getting out of hand and stuff because there are plenty of women here in America of all nationalities and stuff. I think people really need to focus on themselves. But unfortunately, many people don't look at themselves and stuff. And then with the lack of support, I think with a lot of black women are very independent. They want to do their own thing. But a lot of black women have been very much disappointed by a lot of black men. They've been used. They've been cheated on to the point where the people that they were dealing with have kids outside of their relationship. They have been traumatized so badly by the experiences of their life is the reason why they are in this defense mechanism the way that they are. A lot of men, I mean, a lot of women, they're very independent. They feel like they have to do things themselves because when they try to rely on a man, they've been very much disappointed. And at the same time, though, they haven't gotten any help in so many ways. So they've taken on this attitude. But the problem is that black men and black women, we are all at odds with each other. We are all at odds with each other. Black men want to go get their passport, go overseas, get a different woman. And I don't have no problem with anyone. I don't care what nationality it is, because a woman who treats you good, I believe that. But to get your passport to go overseas when there are plenty of women here, even of nationalities, you got Spanish women, you got Asian women, you got all types of women here that are not non-black, and white women, all. But going overseas is not going to guarantee you to have happiness. You know what I'm saying? Never that. And then even with black women with the making all the money, getting the degrees and all this stuff, that might be a personal achievement, but that's not something that most men care about. Most men could care less if you got a doctor's degree or you are the vice president on your job and everything. You know what I'm saying? Most don't care about those titles or those accolades. Most women do. Most women do because most women want to be comfortable in the lifestyle that they live. But I think what has ended up happening is a lot of people are delusional, men and women. I think a lot of people are delusional to the point where there's some men who feel like, oh, well, I'm going to go over here and get me a foreign woman and I'm going to be happy. Not realize you still going to have to take care of her. You understand? And she's still a woman. And don't think that just if you don't take care of her, that she's just going to take care of you. Yeah, they're very much submissive in other countries and stuff like that, but they're still women, period. And then a lot of women have gotten to the point where they feel like, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to make my own self happy and stuff. And then they feel like they're not going to do anything for some guys and stuff because they've done stuff for other guys. So they're making the current guy or any new guy pay for what the old guys did to them or they didn't do for them. So a lot of women say, well, I'm not going to jump through no hoops. I'm not going to do no handstand. I'm not doing any of these things. I'm not giving him $1 and stuff. He going to have to show me. So because we have these attitudes, you know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to get passport and the other one is the lack of support. We don't have any unity amongst us. And that's crazy because when you look at all these other nationalities and all these other races and everything, they are so much bonded together regardless. Like, for example, I've seen situations where in the Hispanic community where, let's say, Maria is mad at Hector, but Maria may cuss Hector out, but Maria still takes care of Hector. I'm talking about not just the house, but takes care of Hector. Make sure Hector have his lunch, feed Hector, do his clothes, and give him massage, and even give him sex. Now, in the black community, that is not going to go the same way. You know what I'm saying? If you got Laquita mad at Leroy and stuff like that, Laquita going to have the attitude, I'm not going to do a damn thing because, you know what I'm saying, do it yourself. And in that aspect and everything, that's why Leroy may go and say, okay, well, you ain't going to do it. I'm going to go get somebody else to do it and stuff. And I'm just using these examples just to shed some light on how the way that we treat each other is the reason why we are where we are. We could be so strong together, but we are so strong individually and apart. And yeah, people got their boys over here and you got your girls over here and stuff like that. But deep down inside, do you really have happiness within yourself? You know what I'm saying? Because nobody or nothing can make you happy. Yes, you can get temporary happiness. You can put yourself in a better atmosphere, better surrounding stuff. But you got to have that happiness within you. And I think we as a people, we're terrible, to be honest with you. We got so many issues. And I've said this many times before. We are still dealing with the tragedy and trauma of slavery. It's been passed on from generation to generation to generation. The crab in a barrel mentality. That's why you got all these killings out here amongst black people. You got a lot of black people going to get these BBLs and things of that nature. You got guys saying I'm getting a passport to go get a foreign woman. You got women who are being independent. And even when women are in these marriages, over 80% of the women in marriages, black women, file for divorce. Many of them file for divorce because they're unhappy. You understand? Some of them do it for the infidelity, and then some of them do it for the finances. But even with the financing, I'm not talking about the infidelity, but even with the finances and the unhappy, people are doing stuff based off their feelings. Because in life, what people are not taking into consideration is you're gonna go on a roller coaster. I don't care where you are in life. You're gonna have some down moments, you're gonna have some high moments, you're gonna have some good moments, you're gonna have some bad moments. But the problem is people feel like that once they get with somebody, they ain't supposed to have no more bad moments. They ain't supposed to never have no more down moments. They act like that. That's being delusional and not realistic. And then even in some situations when they say, "Oh, well, he go gamble and stuff like that." Okay, now I don't gamble. I'm just using that as an example. But even in situations like that, what about getting them help? See, the problem is when people get together, people all have these hidden agendas. You know what I'm saying? They have their own selfish reasons or selfish motives for being with someone. You know, they don't want someone like nowadays. It seems like a lot of people ain't looking for love. They looking for help. I don't care if it's men or women. They not looking for love. They looking for help. They looking for companionship. They don't want to be lonely, or they want somebody to help them with their bills and stuff like that. But they still want to do all the things that they did when they were single. They want to feel like they supreme. Oh yeah, they're supposed to be taking me or treat me this type of way. You know what I'm saying? That's why some men say, "Oh, I'm gonna get a passport and go get a phone." And some women say, "Oh, the guy he got to make this amount of money." You know what I'm saying? So he can take care of us. You know, I think the mentality of so many people out here today is so corrupt. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? People are corrupted by social media, by TV, by what they see with their friends, their girlfriends, their male friends, and what they see. So they want the lifestyle of other people and stuff like that. But the bottom line is, are you happy within yourself? Because a lot of guys can go get a foreign woman and everything, and then you get her over here, and then she treats you okay. Not bad, but okay. Because if you don't take care of her financially, guess what? Don't think that she's gonna stick around forever. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to feel valued, men and women. That's part of the problem with us as a community. We don't value each other. No, you know what I'm saying? We don't value each other. We talk about what we want, but we never listen to what the other person wants. And one of the things, like when I went to church, I went to church at City of Praise, and the pastor said that the reason him and his wife have a great relationship because they're always trying to please the other person. They're always trying to outdo the other person. It is never about them. And they said if it was about them, then of course it wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, they wouldn't be where they are. And the reason why I say that is because when you look at a lot of relationship, people talk about what they want, but they never talk about what they offer, what they can give. You understand? Like, for example, I was holding a conversation with a woman one time, and we were talking, and when we were talking, she was like, "Well, my presence alone is good." And I was like, "Your presence?" I said, "Let me explain something to you. A man can go in a club and stand in the presence of hundreds of beautiful women. What does that have to do with anything?" I said, "What separates you from everybody else?" She was like, "Me." I said, "Well, what does me mean?" She was like, "Me being me." I said, "That don't explain nothing." I said the problem with a lot of women is you act like a man's supposed to know what you offer. In the most men's eyes, you are a woman. You know what I'm saying? Most men are attracted to you because of your beauty or your booty or whatever the case. They're attracted to you because you're a woman. But what do you have to offer? What separates you from everybody else? She couldn't give me an answer. I asked her these questions, and I asked this to the ladies, and I got questions for the men. I said, "Do you ever pray for your man? Do you respect your man? Do you ever compliment your man? Do you ever tell him he's good looking? Do you ever say things for him to make him feel better when he's down? Do you hold a conversation with him, or do you do all the opposite? Do you never pray for him? Do you never thank him? Do you never criticize? I mean, do you always criticize him? And do you always got something negative to say?" And the same thing goes for guys. What do you have to offer? Like, you know what I'm saying? Some guys, you might provide stuff financially, but you don't provide stuff intellectually. You don't provide stuff emotionally. You don't hold a conversation long enough with the person you with to even know what the insight or what's going on with them. A lot of times, like people will, like if a person has a bad day, people don't want to hear about their bad day because they so quick to tell them about their bad day. But sometimes even when you had a bad day, you got to listen to that person's bad day and say nothing about your bad day. So the only thing I say is though, trying to get passports and to those who give no support is really detrimental to you just being unhappy in the long run. So let me go over the topics again. I talked about the current market conditions. Like I said in the beginning, we are entering a shift. Please take that into consideration because we are shifting from a seller's market gradually to a buyer's market, but we're not at a buyer's market yet. We're like kind of in the middle. So it could shift back to a seller's market. So if you're looking to sell, your house will still sell. It just will not sell as quickly as it did in the beginning of the year. If you're looking to buy, it's always a good time to buy, regardless, because real estate value continues to go up. You always buy real estate and wait. You don't wait to buy, because if you wait to buy, you could lose out, and most of the time you will lose out. And then I just had Michelle Smith on here to talk about her campaign and how things went when she ran for Senate. She did an excellent job. She did not win, but she did get over 127,000 votes, which is extremely well for someone who's never ran for anything before. And then I just ended on passports and lack of support. I think a lot of men, they want to go get their passport. They want to travel overseas. They think the pickings are good over there. But understand the grass is not always greener on the other side. And then even if it's green, you got to water your grass in order to make it green. So, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, though, that goes for here. We have a lot of women here in the States. I mean, I know the mentality of some are not all that great, but you do have the mentality of a lot that are great. You just have to hold conversations with people and to see what their values are and what are they, you know what I'm saying, who are they really about? And then the lack of support. You know, being independent is only going to get you but so far in this world. You know, having the degrees, you know, get you good jobs and stuff like that. You'll be real comfortable at a certain level, but sometimes I remember, you know, what good. What's that saying that what good is to have to gain? What was it, gold and lose your soul or something like that? I can't recall the saying, but the point I'm trying to make is gaining all these accolades will take you but so far, but at the same time you're going to lose some things that are real of real value. So I think sometimes we need to look at the things we do, and then also us as a people. I think we really need a lot of healing within ourselves. We're still dealing with the aftermath of slavery, to the point where we're hurting each other. We ain't hurting nobody but each other, you know, but to each his own, you know what I'm saying? I pray that everyone got the message I sent. Always come back to this every Friday at 12 noon. This is Real Estate, Real Life, and Real Talk, Real Live with Damon the Agent. And always check out my website, damontheagent.com, and follow me on all social media platforms, which is at the bottom of here. And if you have any questions, feel free to always call or text me. My number is right there. It's 202-618-1382. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And Labor Day is coming up soon. So they say you can't wear white after Labor Day, but I might wear all white next week. I'm thinking about that. You all have a great evening, great day. Thank you for tuning in.